Well, hello, all of you. I hope you are safe. I just had got a lot of WhatsApp messages. I hope I'm going to send you one of them. That's steam, taking steam. Once a day if we are at home, and twice a day if we are going out. Just plain hot water, steam. You of course can put ajwain and kapoor and haldi in it if you want. Depending on what you want to do. But steam, goes into your nostrils and above into your sinus area where the virus likes to hide before it goes to the lungs. So this hot 70-degree steam kills the virus. There's a gentleman who opened has a hospital in Surat, and he has looked after 4,000 COVID patients, and during these last 10 months, not one member of his staff, nurse, doctor, sweeper, any cleaner, no one has got sick because he's made everyone take steam twice a day. So just steam yourself and keep corona at bay. Okay? I just told you, of course, you can't make out much, from this picture. But okay, you can take a double page for yourself and just write down, say, 5-6 headings, and heading wise, of course, right on top you can put veggie. He's the center kingpin of the story, and he's got 2 posts. He's the managing director of the school, of the cooperative union, and he's the manager of the school. He has 2 children, Badri and Rupal, and he has this nephew who is Rangnath, who has come from the town. So in his immediate family he has these 3 boys and he himself. And they don't talk about his wife or anybody at all. Now, before so Veggies politics, you can write below that Veggies politics, and you can say chapter 24, chapter 4, chapter 21, then page 176, then page 297 to 300, and chapter 35, the end of it, where he makes those masters resign, chapter 34. So that is what his contribution to the play. You find him everywhere. Then you write your next heading, Changamal Intermediate College. If I have gone fast, you can rewind. Veggie, Managers College, Managing Director, Cooperative Union, 2 sons, Badri the wrestler, and Rupal, and Rangnath the nephew outside. Then Veggie's Politics, chapter 4, chapter 21, page 176, and then 297 to 300, and then about 340 when he is getting Khanna Master to resign. Then your next heading will be Changamal Intermediate College. Underneath that you write the characters, principal, and in brackets you can write chapter 23, get to know about his past. Then number 2, Mr. Moti Ram, flour mill owner. Then you have the clerk, the chaprasi, and the students. And you of course have Khanna and Malvya, 2 rebel teachers. So these are all the characters that are in that Changamal Inter College. And the chapters that you find a lot of news for this college is chapter 3, you will hear about it first. Chapter 3, chapter 10, pages 74 to 78, chapter 10, pages 74 to 78. Chapter 12, pages 101 to 104. Chapter 12, pages 101 to 104. Chapter 17, 19, 26, 28, 31, 32, 34, 35. That 35 is the last chapter, and you can put Khanna's resignation on page 343. So all the troubles, whether the principal is complaining about Khanna and Malviya, or they're having that very fast meeting, you'll keep seeing all this in these chapters if you look for them. I mean, it is what you must study when you are looking at Changamal, so you get all the troubles of that college in one go. What kind of students, what kind of teachers, what kind of teaching, what kind of atmosphere, how do these fights start. Then you have the cooperative union. In the cooperative union, under that, of course, where G was director, so that you already know. Then you write number 1, Ram Swarup, embezzler of 2 trucks of grain. Ram Swarup, embezzler, EMBEZZLER, vanished with 2 trucks of grain. Now this is chapter 9, page 73. Then you have inside, under that cooperative union, Shri Ram Charan, who complained about Ram Swarup. This is on page 299, chapter 31. And chapter 31 also has the meeting. So you can put chapter 31, chapter 9 and chapter 31. They had gone to the police before that, to the inspector, and he didn't listen. So he only suggested that Vaidji should resign. Then the third third area of interest is Ramadhin Become Khervi. So Roman numeral 1, Vaidji is there. So first is Changamal Inter College, then you have the cooperative union, and then you have Ramadhin Become Khervi dash gambling den owner, brother of the current Pradhan, and brother of the current Pradhan, an opponent of Vaidji in a power struggle. So he is the one we always see that they keep talking about him, that if Ramadhin is there, he is on the other side, and he tries subtly to oppose or dethrone Vaidji. And you find him in chapter 6, chapter 21, page 179. Then you have another heading. You can put Gayadin, the accountant. Chapter 12 and chapter 32. And with Gayadin you can write his daughter Bela, his widowed sister. Then the robbery is in chapter on page 88, and you hear more about Bela in chapter 25. In chapter 32, Vaidji comes to propose, and he gets to know that they are getting Bela married. So 12, and then page 88, and then chapter 25, and then chapter 32. Now, actually, I didn't want to make a drawing of it. I did the drawing myself, but I didn't know how I could draw it for you, so that is why I'm actually just sketching a plan for you. If we've done this story over a week and more, and 35 chapters where we look for what, at least we study the story theme-wise, because since it doesn't, no problems are really solved except that where G resigns from the cooperative union. Otherwise problems are not solved in any way, they're just as they were. So what is happening in the story? This is what you have to know. So after that you can have 2 and 3 other characters. You can put Sanichar, the bhang grinder. You first meet him in chapter 13, and he becomes Pradhan later on. Then you have Langar, the lame boy, who is looking for his knuckle, his land papers. You meet Langar in chapter 5 and chapter 33. And then you also meet him in chapter 29 from page 268 to 270. And then you have Kalika Prasad. Kalika Prasad is that Sanichar's election supporter and the one who is good at getting loans from the government. One important character that we have left out, till now, is Chote Pahalwan. You meet him in chapter 11 and then in chapter 16 and chapter 18. Chote Pahalwan, chapter 11, 16 and 18. And he is the son of Kusahar Prasad, Kusahar, Kusahar Prasad, and they are all wrestlers. Then you have the fourth, minor character there who also causes things to happen is Jognath, Jognath. You see him in chapter 8, and then you see him in on page 2 in chapter 21 he is arrested. Then you see him on page 283. Then another new heading you can put the Chamrahi village, and you can put chapter 12, you see them first, then page 104 and 5, then page 205, the Gandhi platform and the well, and then page 271. Then a very minor short subheading is the Mela, the village Mela, fair, chapter 14 and 15. And for a short heading, you can add another short one, Dark Bungalows, chapter 35. Then you have 3 characters who, right now you only hear about them. They don't do anything just now. You have Thakur Durbeen Singh Daku in chapter 7. Thakur Durbeen Singh Daku, chapter 7. And then you put chapter 7 again, Ram Swarup, a thief. And then you have Pandit Radhe Lal, Radhelal, Pandit Radhe Lal, Star Witness, chapter 9. You can never overturn him. And then you can put Mata Prasad. He is also the leader of this Shivpalganj before where he came. Page 318, and 3 349. 318 and 349. Then you have one heading, I've tried to see, just the politics that's going on, the mischief, the troubles that are going on in that village that need to be remedied, that how the villagers cope with life, the politics of Shivpalganj. Chapter 8, Chapter 13, Chapter 18. In Chapter 18, you learn about Kaurilash Brand Justice. Kaurilla, Brand, Brand, Brand Justice. That herb that was fed to the Nawab's son, who actually was a water carrier's son, and that is why he couldn't get healed by all the noble remedies that the Nawab was offering him. So the villagers didn't need VIP, very expensive justice, something simple would do for them. Then you have on page 154, barren land and the multiple uses that it goes on. Then you have on page 182, Hindi translation from English. Then the dirt and filth of the village, bus stand, pond. These are on page 200, 201 and 319. (207) and 2215 also. A lot of filth everywhere. I don't know why he likes to do that. Then winning elections. Chapter 30, 274, page 274. Then lines, observations on how villagers always keep standing in line for everything, page 281. And of course, don't forget that this whole thing is happening in the village called Shivpalganj. So, Raag Darbaari and Shivpalganj, Shri Shukla. So, once I did this, I was so happy that, of course, I have left a lot of numbers with you, but I'm hoping that it will encourage you to go looking theme by theme, chapter by chapter. You put your observations together, and if you can write, 1.5 page on each of these topics, get the people together. When you read it, the story comes fresh to you. I hope I can read out, this chapter summary that I have made into a PDF for you. Let us see, because otherwise, in general, a lot of our classes, a lot of our topics have been completed. I have this essay of Derrida. Just now we're not supposed to go to college, so as soon as the lockdown, there's not a lockdown, but I'll go to college one of these days and see if I can find an essay that I have given you. I think either the mom has that book. So when I get that essay, that is the one thing that I have to teach you, and I'd like you to start getting your files ready and make a so that whenever it's convenient for us to meet, so by the time your files are ready, we can discuss them. Maybe we can you can come one by one to the college, and less infection and less problems, and we can start looking at that seriously. And in the meantime, you go through your syllabus and see what else is left, so that you can WhatsApp me and I can get some material ready for you. So all the best, happy studying, and we can say farewell to Raag Darbaari.